What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. First off, thanks for watching this video as you are right now. Thanks for being subscribed to our channel. If you're not, make sure you do that. One more thing, make sure you check out the Fanstop, fanstop.com. Amazing shirts. Get on the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE for a 10% discount for your first 3 months. You'll want to do that again, fanstop.com. Big game today. OU at UCF. Big 12 showdown. OU coming off a massive road win the other day in Manhattan, a place that they just never are able to play very well. They come atop, finish that with the win, and now they have a chance to go back-to-back on the road in the Big 12, which is nearly impossible. And you could almost say cancel out that 2-game losing streak they had at the LNC. This would be a massive win for the Sooners. We'll see what happens, but Jay, UCF has been struggling a little bit. OU played pretty good the other night, especially on the defensive end. We'll see what happens. I really like OU's chances to get 2 in a row.
Yeah, this would be, like you said, it'd be a huge win for Oklahoma on the road. Anytime you get a win in the Big 12 on the road, check that as a huge win because it just doesn't come very often. I mean, outside of maybe one school, it's hard to win on the road, right? I mean, right now, OSU is just struggling. But other than that, going somewhere and winning, very difficult. And Oklahoma, if you look at the Kansas State game, it was a great crowd they had there in Kansas State. They always do. And OU got off to the early start. I think that was the key to the game, really. They didn't play that well offensively, especially at the first of the game, and they were up 9 points, something like 9 or 10 points, because defensively they came up and balled. And not just one or two guys, it was a team effort. They were very, very well connected, as Porter Moser said, defensively. Even Javion McCollum, probably his best defensive effort of the year. And you look at it, Jalen Moore the last few games has been really good, and he's going to have to continue that. And then Javion McCollum, I think, has to continue one thing particular, not turn the ball over. I think he went from couple games, he had 6 turnovers each game. To last game, very little, maybe one, or if any, maybe not any. And so that's great. Anytime OU turns the ball over under 10 times, they usually get the W. I mean, and that's been kind of their Achilles heel. But this is a game you got to have your best player step up. Javion McCollum's got to step up. Miles Uziah's got to step up. And Otego Wade's coming off one of his worst performances of the year. And he's got to be better today for them to win.
Yeah, one thing I will say I liked the other day against Kansas State, outside of the defensive effort, that was suffocating, that's where this team starts. You have to – that's where success starts, on the defensive side. Try to get transition baskets, get people engaged. But I did like a lot of side-to-side movement on the offensive side. They swung it a little better. They attacked from the wing a little more instead of from up top. I like that, better attacking from the wing. But you're right. Otego Wade has gone away on the offensive side. It's pretty much non-existent last week on the offensive side. And again, I'm not one who wants Owe to force anything. I don't. I think he can attack from the wing more. I like posting him up a couple times to get him involved, even if he misses. I, for one, liked when Hewley was in to go to the block to him. Personally, I liked it. So I hope to see some of those things. But every bit of this starts, Jay, for me on the defensive side, because you got guys on this team that can flat out defend, that can get after you defensively. And the other thing is, I'll say OU did a much better job the other day on the glass, getting defensive rebounds, not allowing the other team to get offensive points off the glass. And again, Jalen Moore is quietly, maybe not even quietly, very loudly putting his stamp on this team and saying, look, I'm a major part of this team. And it's not just on the defensive side or alley-oops. This guy, he made a 3 the other day.
He's been shooting.
Is stepping up.
Yeah, he's been shooting pretty well from 3 the last few. I mean, I think last game he was 2 for 3. And that's one thing OU has to do better at, is shooting the 3 ball. Uzan hasn't been very consistent. Always been – he started off really hot, kind of has went cold a little bit. McCollum, the last 4 games, has been really not good shooting-wise. I mean, I think it's in the 20%. I mean, for 3-point land. maybe 30%. It just hasn't been that great. But what I loved about McCollum last game, he didn't force the threes. He got to the rim. And that to me is key for this team. Him and Uzan getting to the rim, but also finishing. Sometimes I think they can be a little more tough when they go up with it. They like the little fadeaway or something. I think them driving to the rack and getting buckets has to be part of this offense, and they have to finish. They have to finish. And Javen McCollum can't just live and die by the three because he's got great game driving to the rack. And so I think he has to continue to do that. He did it against Kansas State. This team got to the foul line a lot. Yes, it's been a struggle. Porter Moser talked about it. Yes, he knows it's a struggle. They practice it all the time. I don't know what to say about it really because they've been really good leading up to the last two games. Now, the Texas Tech game, you could say it cost them the game. It really did. It was a 1-point game, and they were awful from the line. Kansas State, they won the game, but the first half, they could have really had a lead of maybe 24, 25 points if they would have shot well from the free throw line. So the good thing is they're getting to the line. Now they got to capitalize. And I think that's just a little slump. I think they'll bounce out of it. I don't think it's anything that's going to plague them the rest of the year. But one thing I'll say, you mentioned winning 2 games on the road in the Big 12. Here's so far to me what's been good about Oklahoma's Big 12 season. They lost the 2 home games last week, but if you look, they won on the road at Cincinnati before that 2-game losing streak at home. And what they've kind of stayed away from is a 3 to 4 game streak in the Big 12. I think you have to do that in this conference. It's brutal. You can look up and be on a 4 or 5 game streak like that, losing streak. So what they've done is they've kept it at a 2-game losing streak throughout the season in the Big 12. And you got to continue that. If you can win this one on the road, you're right back there. And now you're sitting at, if you win today, you're sitting at 3 wins away from 20. You're sitting at 5 wins in the Big 12. You only need 4 more wins to end up at 9-9, which is the 500 is a big thing in the conference, right? So it's a big game, big game.
Yeah. If OU can hit some shots early, see the ball go through the net early on, I think this could be one that maybe can get away from UCF. UCF 12-8. Sellers is their main guy. Got to defend him. Now, I'll say this: UCF is 12-8, but of those 12 wins, they have 2 or 3 massive ones. So OU's got to come out early, like you said, show up early, hit some shots early. The bench has been just very, very good for OU, and I hope that continues. But yeah, thanks for watching our videos, Jason. Score prediction time. I got OU 82-71.
I'm going to go with. I think it's going to be a very tight game. It could go either way for me, but I'm going to pick OU 74-72.
Okay, drop your score predictions here in the video. Thanks for watching our stuff, our content. Appreciate it. Remember, don't forget, check out thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. Appreciate you. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.